Thanks to the supporters of channel member Ollie Gunnar Kvam. And big thank you as well to today's episode sponsor, Pouch. Pouch is a free desktop browser extension that finds and applies the best discount codes when you're shopping online. Now, you may remember recently that I needed a Real Madrid shirt for the series, so I went to the Adidas website, and when I got to checkout, Pouch automatically popped up, found a discount code, applied it, and saved me £33, which I was then able to spend on that really snazzy jumper with the thumb holes in. You remember the one? Thumb holes. Pouch works on over 3,000 UK websites, including classic football shirts, eBay, and Curry's PC World. And Pouch has now launched Pouch Points. So even if there are no live codes available at the time that you're shopping online, you can still earn points from participating retailers, which can then be redeemed for gift cards. Pouch only takes a couple of clicks to install, and make sure that you pin it to your browser. And you can get Pouch for free right now by clicking the link at the top of the description. There's literally no reason not to do it. Go click, save money, easy peasy. Hello and welcome to Club 6, part 14 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we have two games for you. We're away against Leipzig in a top-of-the-table clash against our new fierce rivals that aren't showing as our fierce rivals yet, and we're also back in the Champions League against Lyon. We're actually third favourites for the Champions League level odds-wise with Real Madrid. I don't think that's a thing I can show you. It came up in an inbox. Does it show on the profile of the competition somewhere who the favourites are? I don't think it does. Yeah, it's one of those things that the game knows about but doesn't seem to store anywhere that's accessible, which is a little bit of a shame. But we were joint second favourites, I guess that would be, with Real Madrid. As you can see, our season has started really rather well. In addition to the 9-0 win we had in the German Cup, which is a win you would expect, we beat Stuttgart 8-0 in the league, which you wouldn't necessarily expect. Ruben picking up 5 goals in that game. He is currently the Bundesliga's top scorer with 9 goals from his first 5 games. He started all 5 games. He is kind of my Bundesliga striker so far this season, with Luis Gustavo only really starting in the Champions League as he started the season with an injury. But he started in the Champions League and got 5 goals in a 7-0 win over Besiktas, who, of course, were in our Europa League group last year and must have been really excited to see that they'd got us again on their return to the Champions League. So we've got 2 ridiculously free-scoring strikers. It's a nice problem to have. This is what the league table looks like. As you can see, both us and Leipzig have won 5 from 5 to start the season. Why does that say... Okay, for a second there, I thought I got the game wrong. It is Leipzig who we're playing today. Bayern Munich, not starting the season so well at all. 2 defeats already. I don't think they've played either us or Leipzig yet. So Bayern are done. And we just want to pick up a couple of wins today and really assert our dominance over the division. After much perusement, I have decided to get... In fact, I haven't decided to get... Past Kev, what were you thinking? We've just had an international break. Yeah, we've just had... Have we had an international break? I've loaded the game up just now, having not played it since yesterday. There hasn't been an international break, but weirdly, Past Kev was going to start Luis Gustavo despite the fact he's not fully fit. No logic to that. Ruben started all 5 games and is scoring for fun, so Ruben can start again. Gustavo can sit on the bench and play against Lyon in the second game if he's fully fit to do so. And I guess we have a league starter and a Champions League starter, and they're 2 of the best strikers in Europe. Lovely stuff. So it's Diego Henrique in goal, a back four of Locatelli, Stewart, Posterino and John, Drury and Tipple in midfield. Tipple has really added that bite to the central midfield that we needed. He's got 14 for tackling. We know he's a solid defender as well from his time at Norwich and playing in that box-to-box midfielder position alongside Drury. I think Etienne Tipple, missing piece of the puzzle. Who'd have thought that Tipple's going to get himself a Champions League medal after all, because we're winning it this year. I've already decided we're winning it this year. And then it's Ballo, Schultz and Boding behind Ruben up front. Leipzig, of course, are in form as good as ours. So they are the one team who are probably taking a look at us. Benny McCarthy, my old enemy, who I seem to be clashing with constantly towards the end of this series. He'll be looking at this thinking this is a game where They kind of have to win. Ballo has picked up an injury almost immediately at the start of this game. The obvious substitution is Saliba Labino, who's got 4 assists from his first 4 games. Only started 2 games there as well. He's on a 7.53. The other option would be to push Schultz out wide, move Drury forward, and bring someone else on in midfield. But I think in the circumstances, in fact, it says injured but feels he can shake it off. You know what? We're going to leave him on for a little bit. He is actually recovering. It says it might be a pulled groin. We're going to keep monitoring the situation. We'll probably take him off at half time. I don't want to rush an early substitution. What I do want to do is grab an early goal, although it's Leipzig who are currently on the attack. Locatelli dealing with it comfortably, though, and there is Ballo, injured groin and all, and he's lost the ball. If he'd have had a fully intact groin, he wouldn't have lost the ball there. But luckily, Leipzig spurning the opportunity, and it remains 0-0. Look how deep Drury's playing. It's weirdly it works. Stewart running the ball out of defence. Now Ballo slotting it into Schultz. Schultz has got in behind here, holding the ball up nicely, finds the cross, and Boning had a tap in, but somehow it comes back off the post. He has kept hold of the ball, and Schultz doing brilliantly to keep the move going, but Boning has missed an absolute sitter there. And to be fair, both teams have. We've both had very, very good opportunities, but you can see by the XG that the opportunity we had was better than one they had. Did Diego Henrique just do what I think I just saw him do? This is why you always need to be paying attention. Let's not start with that kind of nonsense, young man. We have got another goalkeeper we can bring in if you're going to start backheeling your goal kicks, you numbskull. Right, it ends up with John, who can get this ball back into the area where we have a Ruben in form. We can't find him. The ball bobbles around inside the 6-yard box, but no one's there to stab it home. Oh, I'm choking on my own excitement. I don't know what happened there. Boning's miles offside, I think. Shush, Siri. Nobody asks you. Siri's concerned for my well-being after it's hay fever, dry throat. Need a beverage from my Valentine's present. Look at it. What a mug that is. On a nice cup as well. And I've lost it now. It's all gone wrong. Look how far, talking of all gone wrong, look how far offside Boning is there. He's having a bit of a nightmare game. So he's supposedly the best player on the pitch, but he's missed a sitter and been about 30 yards offside with his 2 attacking contributions. So I don't know how he's the only player on either side who warrants a 7+ on his rating. Football Manager baffles me at times. This is why I don't put too much weight into what the ratings and the average ratings even over the course of the season show. I'd much rather, and we've talked about this a little bit before, I'm much more interested in what players do at key moments, and the key moments are the bits you see in the highlights. If a player plays well in the highlights, I don't care what their rating is over the course of the match. But either way, and yeah, to me, Boning has had a pretty nightmare game today, despite the fact that his rating would suggest otherwise. So he is a potential for the chop in the second half, although obviously Ballo is deteriorating health-wise, so we're probably going to have to take him off, which is going to give Boning a little bit of a stay of execution, I think, and he can have the opportunity to make up for his couple of mistakes that we've seen from him early on in this game. Although, of course, we have got Luis Gustavo sat there on the bench, desperate to get some goals under his belt in the Bundesliga this season, and we might need him in this second half because it looks like we're going to go in at half-time 1-0 down. Is the referee, where's his finger? No. Apparently, that is being given. Not even a check with VAR. Not particularly pleased about that, but we are going to take off Ballo now. Saliba Labino can come on for him. And we are keeping an eye on Boning and Ruben, with Luis Gustavo almost certainly going to be coming on for one of them. I was going to say at least one of them. He only needs to come on for one of them. We don't need to take them both off. But Luis Gustavo will be making an appearance in this second half if we continue to be in search of goals. And obviously we want to keep our 100% start to the season going. And also, we're about 20, I think it was 29 games unbeaten in all competitions now. That's not particularly a record that we want to see go by the wayside either. So even if we, not Cloves, anyone but Cloves. I mean, to be fair, forget that. Just no one. Not anyone but Cloves. No one. Let's not concede another goal. That's Keegan Shrivers, I think, who we almost signed for Norwich years ago. It shows I was always right about him. You lot talked me out of signing him. Looks like he would have been a very good player, now playing for one of Europe's top clubs as a starting striker. Kev is always right. Drury, back to Locatelli, and now Tipple. Drury again, trying to poke it through to Boning, but the two of them just not on the same wavelength there. And Leipzig get the opportunity to come away with the ball. Again, Bismarck is a player who's been showing up on my scout reports. I don't know if he was already at Leipzig when he was showing up, or if they've signed a player that my scouts were screaming at me to sign. But because we've got Locatelli, we didn't really need him. Tipple is bursting through here, plays it into Boning, a chance to redeem himself, plays it across to Salama Labino, and he grabs his, I think that's his first league goal. He has been excellent since arriving in the summer. Maybe a couple of question marks over spending so much money on a player who was only going to be coming in to be a squad player reserved for Boning, but he is already proving he is a lot more than that, and he is a very, very high-quality option to come off that bench or even start for the club and allow us to rotate that front three, front four a little bit more than we have done in the past. It's 1-1. That puts us back to the top of the league. And now we'd like a winner, please, because we like to win football matches. We want to send messages. Messages need to be sent. Right, Schultz is tired, so Drury can come on for him. Han can come on in midfield to play alongside Tipple. And then for the final change, I think we bring Gustavo on, or Boning, who is more tired than Ruben. And of course, in my mind, hasn't played as well as Ruben has today. In so much as I've seen him make mistakes, I haven't seen Ruben make mistakes. I guess you could argue Ruben's not really been involved, but he's scored 9 goals in the league in his first 5 games. He's got to be good for a goal in these final few minutes, surely. To be honest, we take this. We're absolutely fine with a 1-1 away from home against our closest rivals. It keeps the unbeaten run going. It does break the winning streak that we're on, but we're always going to take a draw away from home against our closest rival, and it does keep us top of the league. Bayern now slotting themselves quietly into 3rd place. They're not done yet, are they? They're still lurking, the rascals, but both us and Leipzig remain unbeaten, and now we go into the game against Lyon, who I guess, in fact, to be fair, Sevilla are probably our nearest rivals in this group. Lyon should be a team that we deal with relatively easily. So just doing a little bit of shuffling for the Lyon game to keep legs fresh. Idloff coming in to play in the inside forward role, which, I mean, theoretically is probably his best position. He's not getting as much game time as usual in central midfield because Drury and Tipple have taken his spot. So we need to rotate him in there occasionally. Diego Norberto is going to play left back, and Luis Gustavo does come in to get another Champions League start. I do need to be careful because based on prior knowledge of Football Manager, there's a chance Luis Gustavo could get upset even if he plays every Champions League game if he's not playing in the league, because I know there always used to be a thing, and I don't know if this is still the case in FM22. I'm more than 1,000 hours in, and there's still stuff I'm trying to figure out about this game. I don't know if it's still the case, but certainly in the past, there you go, Boning already making up for his nonsense in the last game. But certainly in the past, when players were looking at percentage of games played and whether or not they were getting the game time they're promised, they only looked at the league. Even if you were in the Champions League and you were actually saving them for the bigger, more important games. So we probably need to split the games a little bit more evenly between Ruben and Luis Gustavo to make sure that Gustavo gets his share in the Bundesliga and Ruben can play a few Champions League games. It'll be fine. We can manage them both. It's, like I say, cliche time. It is a nice problem to have. 2 proper out-and-out strikers who are scoring goals for fun. Is that my former boy, Gilberto Carlos, off of Norwich? It must be. Let's have. I mean, he's going to score today now. There he is, look. Now playing for Lyon. What do you know? I'm sure. Did we play Lyon last year? Did we play them in the knockouts? Because I remember seeing in the comments someone saying something about Gilberto Carlos. So we must have played Lyon last year. So we've got Besiktas, who we beat in the groups last year. Lyon, who we beat in the knockouts. Did we face Sevilla during last year's run as well? My memory of previous videos is basically non-existent. I'm not very good with the whole short-term memory recall thing, as those of you who've been watching for a while will no doubt have noticed. But yeah, Gilberto Carlos, lovely to see him. We're 1-0 up at half-time. Just keep doing what you're doing, boys. A comfortable little away win in the Champions League. If we can do in the Champions League what we did in the Europa League last year, and get the Group 1 after 4 games, it does take the pressure off as you move into that second half of the season, because you just start the real huge rotation even earlier. And with us playing in Germany, where there's far fewer league games to play, only the one cup competition, it's so much easier to keep the players fresh here in Germany than it is in the Premier League or even in Spain, where there's more games to play as well. But comparing this to the Premier League, where a top team can play like 60 games, we're not going to get anywhere near that, even if we win the Champions League. It's lovely. Right, 55 minutes gone. I'd like another goal, just so I can go into the final third of the game, not having to worry that Lyon are going to find a way back into it. Stewart plays it forward to Drury. Drury and now Schultz and Boning, and we're just knocking the ball around beautifully. Boning's got it again. I think Boning's offside. This Lyon side are catching us offside quite a lot in this game. We've already seen 1 goal disallowed for it. The referee has his finger in his ear, and the goal is disallowed again. So that's 2 disallowed goals in the second half. 2 very similar goals as well. I think there was 1 for Luis Gustavo, 1 for Boning. I don't think they were both Boning, but look how close that is. You've got to give those, ref. You've got to favour the attacker. When the lines are flickering back and forth between the two, favour the attacker. Let us have the goal there. Oh, we don't want all this clean sheet nonsense. We want high-scoring games. This is supposed to be a competition for advertisers. We want goals. My word. Drury, lovely cross. Boning nods it in at the far post. The ref's fingering himself again. What on earth is going on here? I mean, again, he did look a little bit offside. They're playing 3 at the back, and it is making it that little bit easier to play the offside trap and catch us off. But they haven't caught us offside that time. At the 3rd attempt in this second half, we do have a goal that is actually given. Good work from Tipple. Lovely in-swinging cross from Drury. And there is Boning to nod it home at the far post. Lovely, lovely. There you go. We'll have the lines again. Where's your lines this time? See, not even any question. If anything, who's the number 28? He's offside. Gustavo was miles offside, but I guess not interfering with play, so it doesn't matter. Right, we are going to take off Schultz and put Drury further forward again. A fairly typical change. Han can come on in midfield once again. Boning can come off. We're going to play Salah Balabino in his actual preferred role for once. And then for my final trick, I would have liked to have brought on Thomas Muller, not that one, but he's not on the bench, so we'll just bring on Eranua to play at left back, 3rd choice left back for us. It's how much better this team is than my Norwich team. Someone has said we should be able to make 5 substitutions. We've had a bit of that in the comments. There's your confirmation. We're not able to. It is only 3 substitutions, both in the Champions League and in the Bundesliga. If it's any different at the start of the game, then, I mean, it doesn't carry on through. Or it might even be that on more recent updates to FM, it's been changed to 5 subs. But this save was started. I mean, Tipple should have scored there. Gustavo taps it in, and there's no doubt that that's going to be a goal because he ran from so deep. But remember, this save was started at like 9 a.m. on release day of the full game, because we started this day 1 as the full game release, as it ticked over from the beta. So any like fundamental gameplay changes that have happened with the patches over the last 6 months or so won't be reflected in the game, because it started right at the very beginning. So if that's something that maybe has been added, that's another reason why it might not be showing up in this save. 3-0 now. This is a little bit more like it. Salah Balabino with the cross. Stewart's there at the far post, and his header is into the hands of the Lyon goalkeeper. But we have had a lovely old start to life back in the Champions League. 2 games played, 2 games won. I'm not entirely sure I've lost a game in Europe as Dortmund manager. Did I lose one as Real Madrid manager? When was the last time I lost a game in Europe? Historians, go do your thing. You should know. You'll know better than me. Right, we are going to push forward, and we're going to, I think, probably show you Bayern Munich in tomorrow's episode with one of these. I guess we have to show you a Sevilla game. We don't know. We just stumped Lyon. Sevilla's a tougher task. So we'll do Sevilla and Bayern. Mönchengladbach can be an invisible meat and a lovely sandwich. In Monday's episode, it'll be, because we don't do Non-League Legend on Sundays. As you know, you'll have the network game highlights out tomorrow. But we'll be back Monday, Sevilla and Bayern Munich. And that is going to give us an even clearer idea of where things are going to end up this season. If you have enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Don't forget to click the pouch link to support the channel. It costs you nothing, but supports the channel, and it'll probably save you some money along the way as well. Subscribe, turn your notifications on, all that good stuff. And thank you very much for watching.